Get Angela Merkel and Viktor Orbán. Eric Frey, editor of Dear Standard, said Mr. Orbán and Mrs. Merkel clashed 3 years ago when the Hungarian PM reacted to the growing influx of refugees across the Balkan route by closing the EU's external border. Mr. Frey wrote, "It was a fight for the soul of Europe. 3 years later, it's clear, Orbán has won this fight. The states affected by the refugee wave in Central Europe have all moved to the right. Merkel only just got away with it at the German Bundestag election, and since then, the strongest opposition has been the left, whose xenophobia even surpasses that of Mr. Orbán's Fidesz party. The states affected by the refugee wave in Central Europe have all moved to the right." Eric Frey. Mr. Frey pointed out that in Austria, the refugee crisis had given the turquoise-blue coalition a broad majority and made Sebastian Kurz chancellor. He said in Italy, where hundreds of thousands entered the country across the Mediterranean, 2 populist parties were voted in at the last election. He said, "The biggest failure was the EU plan for a solid distribution of asylum seekers. Although no country received refugees who did not want to, the decision was enough to divide the Union." This is another reason why Orbán won his election triumphantly by painting a picture of an invasion of his homeland. Today, Europe's borders are shut. Even Merkel has embraced Orbán's policy of barbed wire. Viktor Orbán has been returned to power on an anti-immigration ticket, but the images of the refugee masses at the borders have been burned deep into the psyche of the people, and made Europe a much less friendly place. This will not only affect old and new immigrants, but those who want a tolerant and liberal society. The refugee issue has strengthened the advocates of a nationalist identity policy and an illiberal democracy. The belief of some that they could turn the openness anchored in the European project inside out has overwhelmed large parts of the population and now endangers the entire integration. The financial and euro crisis have shaken many people's faith in Brussels elites and experts, and mass immigration has done the rest. Get Angela Merkel and Viktor Orbán clashed over a migrant policy. Frey said the fear of strangers, Muslims and terrorists was a reality and could not be defeated by even the most reasonable arguments. He said, "But that does not mean that Orbán's visions need to dominate Europe. If the emotional explosive element of migration can be diffused through a strict immigration policy, then it should be easier to obtain support for those European goals propagated by France's President Emmanuel Macron. This would ultimately benefit those migrants who are already here and will stay." On the issue of borders, Orbán was right in many respects in 2015. Now it is important to prevent his policy of injustice from winning over.
Thanks you for watching. Please subscribe News to You channel. Goodbye and see you again.